This is a CBC podcast. Want a weekly roundup of the best CBC radio programming? Subscribe to the CBC Radio One newsletter. Get a digest of the week's top stories, read in-depth articles, listen to interviews and documentaries, and get the lowdown on upcoming stories from CBC Radio One that you need to hear. To subscribe, go to cbc.ca/radio and look for the subscribe button. The CBC Radio One newsletter. Be informed.
Danse, Anine, Boujou, hello. I'm Rosanna Deerchild. Popping up in your podcast feed for the last time this summer. Unreserved is on a break for the holidays, so you won't be seeing much of us in your favorite podcast app. But don't worry, we'll be revisiting some of our favorite episodes of this season on CBC Radio One, including a very special concert with William Prince.
Eddie boy, now what you doing? Go on, you're back for you ruin your life with just grade 7 on your tune.
It just tells the story of my dad. You know, it's been just over 3 years since he passed, and he didn't get to hear this record, and it's just done so many things, you know, and he'd be right there, you know, supporting everything that I'm doing and still coming to shows if he could. And so I like to share a bit of who my dad was in every show.
His old man drove him to town, gave him $20, said, no more fooling around. You want to be a man? Well, a man's got work to do.
A revisit to one of my favorite moments of the season on the powwow grounds in Sandy Bay First Nation.
All right. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce MC Rosanna Deerchild.
So what you're saying is we're going to go down to Ojibwe Laws for our intertribal hookah. Nice and loud.
We're going to go to Ojibwe Outlaws for the tribal. Woo! Sandy Bay. Oh my God, I can't believe I just did that. Did you see that? And a primer on the complicated history of the Métis Nation.
The intention of SCRIP was to actually provide equitable settlement of Métis claims. But what was devised was a system that never got lands in the hands of Métis. It was all about the colonial policy of dispossession of Indigenous peoples from their lands. And in a few short generations, you see Métis from being, you know, brokers and diplomats of Western Canada to being known as the road allowance people. And SCRIP is the fundamental tool of how Canada accomplishes that.
And those are just 3 of the shows replaying this summer. They air the same time as always, 7 p.m. on Sundays and 1 p.m. on Tuesdays. You'll also find more info during each week on our website, cbc.ca/unreserved. And don't worry, we'll be coming back at you in September, telling all sorts of stories from across Turtle Island. Thanks for listening this season, and we'll see you soon. Agassi.
For more CBC podcasts, go to cbc.ca/podcasts.